guys, you are welcome back once again to my class. The name still remains the same, the driver's teacher. Last week we talked about the road signs. Today we are moving on to talk about the road markings. As I told you that the lessons is going to be in sections. So last week we started with lesson 1. So today we are moving on to lesson number 2, which we are going to look at the road markings, so that at the end of it, we'll add the two together to help us to prevent accidents on our road. As you know, 6 to 8 people die every day on our road. So help me and let me help you save life on the road. Before we start today's class, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on TikTok, The Driver's Teacher. Don't forget to share to other people so that they too can know something about what we are doing. That is the driver education that we are doing. Thank you. Lesson number 2, that is road markings. When we say road markings, we said road markings are indicators on the roadway which direct, instruct, order, and inform drivers and other road users of the do's and the do not on the road. So the markings, we see them on the road, are not for beautification. These markings has these 4 purposes that they serve, or these 4 purposes that they communicate to road users, that we need to pay much attention to. But most of the time when we see these markings on the road, we don't pay attention to them. We think they are for beautification, but it's not for beautification. It is for education. They educate you on the road, on what is on the road and what you are supposed to do. Now let's talk about the types of roadway markings. We have markings across the carriageway. We have markings along the middle of the carriageway. And we have markings along the edge of the carriageway. And we have the other markings, that is the arrows. So these are the 4 types of markings that we have. In other words, one will say transverse marking and longitudinal marking. So these are the 4 types of markings that we have. So we are going to take them one after the other and explain them, so that whenever we see them on the road, we know what they imply. When we talk about markings across the carriageway, we have 2 types of markings that normally comes into mind, or whenever we use the road, we see them. These are the solid marking and the broken marking. Please, whenever you see any solid marking crossing the road halfway, most of the time they are being seen at junctions. So anytime you see a solid marking crossing the road halfway at a junction, it means you must stop and give way to traffic on the major road. Whilst when you see the short broken markings at the junction, that one tells you to give way. So whenever you get to a junction, you are not supposed to just enter into the road. You have to see these things and comply to them. Also, with the markings along, we have 3 types of them. We have the solid marking, we have the short broken, and we have the long broken. Any solid marking that you see in the middle of the road or at the edge of the road tells you that you cannot cross, or you cannot interchange it, or you cannot do an overtaking at that particular area. So the solid markings restrict you on the road. The long and the short broken markings also communicate to you this way. Anytime you see a short broken markings on the road that goes along with the carriage or goes along with you on the road, the short broken markings, that is where you can interchange lane, or that is where you can overtake. But mostly we normally see them at a straight edge, or most of the time at the edges of the road where there is entrance to property and all that. That is where we normally see the short broken markings, while the long broken markings tells you caution. They are hazard markings. They normally guide you that this is where you are. So whenever you intend to cross these markings, you cross them at your own risk. Whatever that will be the outcome, to go against. Now let's talk about pedestrians crossing, because we cannot talk about marking and leave pedestrians crossing out. We have some forms of crossings that we need to know them. The first one is the zebra crossing, and we have the pelican crossing. Also, we have the Tokan crossing, we have Pegasius crossing, and we have Pofin crossing. So these are some of the crossings that we have. But unfortunately, in Ghana, we've experienced only two. That is the zebra crossing and pelican crossing. About pelican and zebra crossing. The zebra crossings are the normal ones we normally see on the road, which you have the right when you step foot in, which Ghanaians drivers do not obey them. Because what the zebra crossing means is that when you are driving and you see any zebra crossing sign, you should always have it in mind that it might be that there are people standing there waiting or willing to cross, so you must slow down. But Ghana, when drivers are driving and they see this zebra crossing sign, they don't pay attention to it. So as we are moving on, they brought in the pelican crossing, which has to do with the traffic light. That it has a push button that when you get there, you press it for the light to turn red for the cars and turn green for you, the pedestrians, to cross. But unfortunately, we score them within a short possible time. That is how come that we don't see them on our roads. And the driver, whenever you approach or whenever you're on the road and you are approaching a zebra crossing sign, please take note that it might be that people are already standing there willing or waiting to cross. So you should prepare to stop and allow them to cross. If you get there and there are no one standing there, you can proceed with wherever that you are going. But always take note, you must prepare to stop the moment you see them. My name is the driver's teacher. When you see me in town, call me the driver's teacher and I will respond. Drive with safety in mind. Drive with safety in mind. Drive with safety in mind. It's the end of today's lesson number 2. Thank you very much. I wish to see you on my next lesson. That will be lesson number 3. So on lesson 3, we are going to take the traffic light and talk about them. But please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on TikTok and help to share to other people.